long day, guys. I'm live. It's been a long day. Well, we finna get an update. We did see the pictures of the suspect, so we're waiting on now to get any moment an FBI update. They're trying to find this guy at all costs, guys. That was terrible what they did to that young man. He was going across country. Going across to these universities and speaking to the kids and having good debates. They had some good debates on there, man. And he knew his stuff. Because, you know, when you're doing debates and you got to really know your stuff, meaning you got to be studying and memorizing. And you got to come with facts. You know, when you're debating somebody, you just can't be yapping and yapping it. You have to know your facts. You have to be studying and memorizing things, you know. So when you go to these colleges, because these kids are very, very smart at these colleges, guys. They're very, very smart. And when you go and put yourself out there like that, you have to really be on your P's and Q's. And that guy was on his P's and Q's. He had his stuff. He stood on what he stood on, what he believed in. He stood on it. And he had everything with facts. I didn't watch him a lot, but I used to watch him every now and then. You know, when I seen him at that Republican convention, if I remember correctly, he was the one that opened up at the Republican convention. When I seen him on that stage, I say, oh man, he's on a whole nother level right now. So yeah, I watched him a lot, you know. I didn't watch him a lot. I watched him every now and then. You know, but I know that he was going to different colleges talking to students. You know, he has, you know, you got a freedom of speech, you know, and he was well spoken. He wasn't disrespectful. You know, a lot of times when people disagree when we in this space, you know, they start calling each other out of their names, then it start an argument. He wasn't like that. All his debates with the kids were always friendly, always with love, and you didn't agree with what he was. Hold on, guys. I think we're back. I think they're here.
Killer. I want to continue to bring you the latest, though, from Utah. Let's go. The latest here in this investigation.
Hi, Mike. Well, it was just over an hour ago when FBI Director Kash Patel.
Yeah, guys, we're waiting on the FBI to give us the update. That's what I'm waiting on right now. You know, I don't know if you know, they already they sending them out with style. JD Vance, you know, they gave him a ride on the Air Force 2. That's the vice president's plane. You know, Vice President Nance was with him every bit of the way. And you know, when you the vice president and you in high a power, well, look at him at the top. When you in high power, they have to like plan, you know, where the vice president going to be. They have to have all the security in place. JD Vance wasn't worried about all that. He said, man, I got to go be with this family. You know, I got to go be with them. I got to escort him all the way back home. And that's what JD Vance did. Shout out to JD Vance. But yeah, guys, we got up there to talk and have conversations. If you disagree, hey, come with your facts. Don't disagree with me. And then next thing you know, we arguing and fussing and fighting. No, if we disagree, come with your facts.
The Turning Point USA CEO was.
That's one thing about this debate. It's very, very important and very, very crucial when it comes to politics. And, you know, because it's very, very emotional, because if one thing that we all got in common, if we follow this stuff, that means that we love the country. You know, we really care about who's running this show. And, you know, we all got different views and we all got different opinions. And we get very, very emotional because we really, really love it. But we got to get to a point where now it's getting bad, you know what I'm saying? Because we already seen that the higher ups it's already known that they don't like each other. And I say that a lot on this channel. That the one thing Trump shouldn't have said when he won the presidency, the one thing he said is the Democrats don't like me and I don't like them. If you was here back then, I said that. I don't like that he said that. He was not supposed to say that. That just brought us more and more apart. And you know, that's what happened. It's a lot of emotions behind different, you know, people not agreeing on different things, you know, and it's real emotional. And that's just how it is, guys. We gotta some kind of way bring this country together and bring the people together and have great dialogues with love, you know, not anger, with love. You know, you have your facts. I got my facts. And hey, if we don't, you know, that's why it's great to have the debates. That's why the debates are so great. Without the arguing, without the talking about one another, just straight facts. And at the end of the day, you agree with what you agree with, I agree with what I agree with, and it's good for education. That's what I love about debates. A debate that's done really well, the people that are watching get a great education lesson. That's why I always did like debates, you know, because as the audience, I can see two good educated people, you know, have their talking points, and I can take notes in the audience and educate myself. That's what's so great about debates, guys. That's what's so great. And this guy, he knew his stuff. I just got to say he knew his stuff. He knew his stuff. Even though if you agree with him or not, the guy, he had his receipts. He always had his numbers. You know, and you have to study and memorize. When you have to calculate what your opponent is going to be saying if you debating. And going to these college campuses, what he was doing, he had to be on his P's and Q's. So we getting ready, guys. The FBI will be coming with the update real soon. So let's see what's going on. Appreciate y'all for joining me. I'm your host, the one and only Stock Sniper. We are getting updates on what's going on. Appreciate y'all for joining me. Everybody that's coming in and rocking with us, really appreciate y'all. So here we go, guys. Let me cut it on. I'm done talking for now. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Let's see what's going to happen. What new information they got?
Have changed. You know, it was interesting. Earlier today, they put out that there was going to be a news conference at 12:45 p.m. local time. And then about 45 minutes to go until that news conference happened, the Utah officials put out a statement saying because of the really fast developments that were happening in this case, they postponed it. We didn't know a time. Now we know the time where that about an hour ago, we learned that this news conference was going to be happening at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, just a little bit past that right now, but we do not want to go anywhere because usually, you know, what they always say when you go to a commercial waiting for this event, that is when exactly they will
gotta
pop
worry about
up
right
there
now,
and start
guys.
talking. So we don't want to miss anything like that.
We got to catch him, guys.
Also, we should let you know we have a new shot here of a vigil that will be taking place in College Station at Texas A&M for Charlie Kirk. That will be happening in moments as well. So we'll be able to show you some of the highlights a little bit later as well. But you can see they have a guitarist getting ready, and this event about to begin any moment as well. Back out to Utah right now, where the FBI update will be happening in just moments, and we will be bringing this to you all live now from Fox as it does happen. But yeah, we were just talking about how we were
What
learning
up,
earlier this afternoon
Mark,
that
how
there
you
would
doing?
be a news
Appreciate you for
conference.
joining me.
It did get delayed
What's up, Chad? How
because of
y'all
some
doing?
fast-moving developments. We do not know what that is just yet, but it had to be big enough for the FBI Director Kash Patel to leave New York City and come to Utah. So they were making sure that that was all put into place so he would be able to
Jonathan
speak
Davis
and
in the
give the
building,
latest
Don.
developments from the FBI
How y'all
side
doing, man? I hope y'all having a
of this
great
investigation. We should also let you know
Thursday
that the Marshal
night.
Service is
You know, it's Thursday night
also
football, guys.
joined
Any
in
other
the
time,
task here of
we'll be
this
watching the
manhunt
football
because
game,
they
but
have a fugitive
this is more
that
important.
is on the loose right now. At least
Hey,
that
what's
is the
going
latest
on?
updates here
Bearded
that we're
Viking
able to give to you
Woodworks.
on
How you
Live Now from
doing?
Fox.
Thank you for joining.
You are watching Live Now from Fox, everyone. We appreciate all our viewers continuing to join us here as we are awaiting this major update from the FBI and other key resources
So
in the
anybody
state.
that's
Again,
looking for me
very
to
fluid
do my
information
commentary
that
on
continue to
football,
come into
I'm not going to
the
do that tonight,
afternoon.
guys.
And now that we are
We got
in the evening,
to
we are going to be continuing
support
to
Charlie
wait for
Kirk,
it
no matter
on
if
Live
you
Now
agree with
from
him or
Fox.
not. He was putting the work in. So they got to catch that killer, guys. They got to catch him. Hey, what's up, Thomas? Gilby Marie, Tina, Bessie, hello, how y'all doing? Appreciate y'all for joining me. Thomas. Samuel, what's going on? Peter.
All right, everyone. We
Hello,
continue to bring you the latest here on Live Now from Fox. Again, waiting for these updates coming out of Utah. But I do want to bring in my next guest to help us get ready for this news conference as well as talk about the active investigation and manhunt that continues
on. I hope they give us some good updates,
here,
man.
Jeff James. Former Secret Service agent, spent more than 2 decades as a Secret Service agent and had presidential details as well. Jeff, thanks so much for joining us this evening, and it's an honor to talk with you.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you. All right, so let's talk right about this active investigation right now. The manhunt continues, and just a little bit ago, we were getting new information and new stills of the suspect. What can you tell us about
I don't think they will find
the FBI and others putting this information out there?
I hope you're wrong.
In the day that the FBI was saying they weren't ready to quite put the pictures out there yet, but then I guess it was about mid-afternoon today they started putting out the pictures. So I think maybe a lead they thought they had may have stalled, and now they're like, okay, now it's time to get the help of the general public. I wouldn't be surprised if this press conference was going to be used right now to announce that they had the identity of this person. Maybe not that they had them in custody, but that they have their identity. This is powerful stuff that you're looking at with these stills, and along with the reward they're offering, somebody's going to come forward.
Yeah, that is, I mean, we're definitely hoping for that. And once they have a name out there, Jeff, tell us how that really then shapes the investigation and puts I would feel maximum pressure on this.
I got to go get my water. Hold on, guys.
For sure. And look, everything's going to continue in the background. All the forensics investigations are going to continue. All the eyewitness testimony, or I'm sorry, interviews are going to continue, because there's something that happens when people witness trauma, that their memory kind of blanks for about 24 hours and then pieces start to come back to people. That's why a lot of police departments, you'll see that they'll have a policy where if an officer's involved in a shooting, they don't interview them for facts, and for 24 hours, they'll wait till the next day. So there may have been people who the police talked to yesterday who have called since and said, hey, you know what, I just remembered, I saw this guy with a backpack running this direction, or whatever it would be. So the interviews are going to continue. Like I said, the forensics are going to continue as the manhunt now begins. And I think you're going to see all the boots on the ground looking for this guy. It's going to be, I believe, almost tantamount, probably not to the level, but pretty close to when the Boston Marathon bombers were at large, and you just saw the massive manhunt. That's what Utah is going to look like.
Yeah, I mean, that is a perfect way to put this. It really does have the feelings of this manhunt that really took Boston, and it really had everybody involved in the city and the surrounding areas. And likely and it is happening like that right now. Jeff, I want to get your insight too on what I know hindsight is 2020, but what did you think of the venue where Charlie Kirk was yesterday? And, did you see some areas where there was security flaws?
Well, I will tell you, in over 2 decades of preparing sites for people that the Secret Service protected, the hardest sites I ever did were outdoor sites. They are a monster. You have to worry about so many things that you don't worry about when you're indoors. Long lines of sight. People could lob in mortars from.
If you're just now joining, we're waiting on the FBI to come out and give us an update on this massive manhunt. The killer that killed Charlie Kirk. They are late. They said they were supposed to start at 8:30. They're late right now. That's not good, in my opinion. On another note, let me see who went in the football game. Let me check it out. Let's see who went in the game. Packers winning right now, which I pretty much thought that was going to be the case anyway. I thought Green Bay, I was thinking that Green Bay would win anyway, so this is more important though. But they got to catch this guy.
To the university, to their camera system, and saw what they could find there. I know there were people on the ground who were detained, so I think you saw that happen very quickly. But the resource of video, it's a little bit tough because you can't, unless somebody's watching it live, you have to take the time to review it. But the evidence that the video seizes it doesn't lie. It's incontrovertible. And then once they found a direction of travel and they knew this person had, where they found the weapon in the woods. All right, these are the 2 neighborhoods nearby. We're going to scour these neighborhoods. And again, just like we're seeing, went to citizens and
said,
how
you walking through the neighborhood, guys.
Kind of video doorbell or alarm system, like that. We'd love to take a look at it.
Straight up suspect.
And by that point, the good part is they know exactly who and what they're looking for, so they're going to be easy to spot. And in a residential setting like we're seeing, that probably doesn't have a lot of foot traffic, that probably made it easier. But yeah, they were approaching private citizens, businesses, even probably, I don't know what happened there in Utah. I'm not there, but I wouldn't be surprised if they put out something that said, hey, if you have a dash cam and you were driving through this area, please let us know.
Yeah, that's some good insight there as well. And I just want to go back to this video that we were just showcasing to our viewers there, Jeff, from TMZ getting this. And, they showed the before and after.
That's why, guys, you got to pay attention in your neighborhoods.
And before you see
you got to pay attention to your surroundings.
The person of interest.
You see somebody walking through your neighborhood like that?
Because
911 ASAP.
Carrying that
Look.
weapon.
Well, that could be it. Or I know he jumped down from a roof, so he may have injured himself, possibly, because we know he stashed the weapon in the woods when he left. So I think this may just be the limp from an injury in his haste to get down off the roof.
Yeah, just so many different moving parts definitely here in this investigation. But you're dealing with now a public, especially really across the country, that is grieving the loss there of Charlie Kirk, and especially the ones that witnessed that. And we all saw what happened there. It's been on social media, just very devastating. And to think that, this person did it with one shot. Talk a little bit about maybe the accuracy and sharpshooter skills of this person.
Yeah, so there had to be some kind of, I don't know if there was any kind of formal training. We'll certainly know that when this person's apprehended. Or they probably, if they know who it is, they probably know that already. But there was some level of practice.
In the building. Appreciate y'all
I've
for coming in.
The quotes everywhere from a 360 to a
like
400-foot
shot. We got 1,000 people in the building.
I've heard all the way up to 200 yards.
I appreciate y'all for coming in and rocking with us.
With weapon systems that are available now and sighting systems, it's not super difficult. I could train you to do that probably in a day, but it would also take some practice. It's a perishable skill that you're going to lose. So it's going to take some practice. And then you add in the fact that this person's, hopefully we're going to find out they've never killed anyone before. They've probably never taken a shot at a real person before. So their heartbeat was probably going about 140 beats a minute. They were probably sweating and breathing heavy. So a shot from that distance takes a reasonable amount of skill. Not impossible to teach a layperson to do it or train a layperson to do it, but it would take some time and some practice for sure.
And Jeff, as this manhunt does continue, do you think the suspect is surprised even that they were able to get away and this manhunt is continuing? Or do you think, this person probably thought, hey, I could shoot him and get away with it maybe?
Well, they may have been surprised because what we see in a lot of incidents like this is they don't have an egress plan. We see that in school shootings and workplace shootings where the person knows they're going to kill themselves at the end of the deed. So there may have been the intention by this person to, have a firefight. Firefight with police and die that way. But maybe even surprise themselves a little bit that they were able to get away. It seemed like he had the intention to go, but there may have been in the back of his mind the idea that I'm going to go down fighting. And we'll find that out too when he's apprehended and we find out what was in his bag. If he had additional weapons, that'll indicate that.
And does after this happened to Charlie, does anything change for President Trump's detail, for Vice President J.D. Vance?
Well, I know I had a couple sources tell me that for the president's events today that commemorated September 11th, that they did add some assets. A little bit not at liberty to say specifically what, but some assets were added. But what you do need to worry about is if you had a person who was planning an attack on the president, even in the back of their mind, and now they see this yesterday, and that kind of flips a switch for them where they say, all right, that's my sign. It's time to attack. You have to be prepared for that. And the Secret Service certainly was.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And we even saw President Trump at Yankee Stadium today as he was able to move from D.C. to New York City and even met with some of the Yankees players before the game. Yeah,
and look, things. Sad time for America, but things still need to go on. And New York and the other visits today that the president made, they were things he had to do to commemorate September 11th, 2001. So it's good that he was undeterred in doing that.
Yeah, no doubt about that here. And for all our viewers continuing to watch with us on Live Now from Fox. We are continuing to wait for an update from the FBI director and other officials. This is Jeff James, my guest, joining us, giving us some great insight, a former Secret Service agent spending more than 20 years with the service. Thank you for all that you did to keep your protectees safe and kept America safe as well. What surprised you the most, Jeff, from yesterday's event? Obviously, the death, very, very sad for the family there of Charlie. But was there anything that really stuck out as far as his personnel, his security detail that he had?
It really didn't, just because we know that, prominent people like Charlie don't have the assets to secure a site the way we would secure it for the president. For even that small venue that fit 3,000 people yesterday, you're looking easily at 6 figures to bring in every asset that the president would get. That's from drivers who can do tactical driving to the people who are right around him to counter snipers to ballistic glass. It's a huge, not just a huge lift, but also a huge bill that comes with that. So, wasn't really surprised. And I see they're stepping to the mic, so I'll let you go ahead and take it away.
We are going to bring everyone to this. Thank you, Jeff. We are going to listen in right now on Live Now from Fox.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here today. My name is Hillary Kellner. I am the Communications Director for the Utah Department of Public Safety. This evening, we have FBI Director Patel, FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino, Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles, Governor Spencer Cox, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, and Commissioner Anderson, as well as Commissioner Bo Mason, as well as some local partners here present with us today. Governor will kick it off. Governor Spencer Cox, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, and Commissioner Anderson, as well as Commissioner Bo Mason, as well as some local partners here present with us today. Governor will kick it off. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here tonight. We appreciate the media and the partnership we have with you in helping us to get information out to the public so that we can catch this assassin and hold him accountable. We are going to share a portion of a video and that we have of the suspect, as well as some new stills. Those have already been released, but we want to make sure that they get as much attention as possible so that we can get help from the public in tracking down this evil human being. So we're going to cue up the video right now, show that. I've asked Commissioner Bo Mason if he would narrate to you what is happening in this video.
Thank you, Governor. Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. If you look up to the top left, you'll see the building where the shooter was proned out in the top left corner. We'll go ahead and play that video, and I'll narrate as we walk through that. So here you see the suspect ran behind that upper building. He's going to come out on the right, moves to this far right corner. As he does, he's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes. Again, we'll replay that again so you can get another view of that. It's important to note his black T-shirt, his black pants, and there appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for. In the stills that are going to follow this, you're going to see a very distinctive T-shirt with an American flag and appears to have an eagle on it. There's also a baseball cap with a triangle on it and a pair of sunglasses. All distinctive, all things that we would ask the public to look for and try to identify if they know someone who has those items, who has been seen wearing those items. We're looking for all that information. Here you see the suspect after dropping off the building. He moved around across this grassy area, around the parking lot. We're going to pan to the right. After he crosses the street, this is where he moves over into the wooded area. This is the video evidence that we utilize to track his movements and to locate that firearm in that wooded area following the discovery of this evidence. Good. You want to go to the stills? So here's the still photographs I mentioned. These have been enhanced. So these are slightly different than what we introduced earlier. Please pay close attention to the T-shirt. Like I said, very distinctive with that American flag and that eagle. The hat with the triangle and the sunglasses. If you'll go to the next picture, please. The backpack as well. All identifying features that we're hoping the public can help us identify and lead us to this suspect. Next picture. And again, there's a better picture of the hat with that triangle logo, and again, the T-shirt. Blue jeans, and you get a good look at those Converse tennis shoes as well. We have pushed these out. We'll continue to push these out, and we just ask for the public's cooperation through the public. The tips that have been coming in are what are giving us our next leads and enabling us to continue to further this investigation. We've had great cooperation from the public, and we're continuing to ask for that as we move forward. Thank you, and I'll turn the time back over to Governor Cox.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Mason. I want to thank Director Patel and his team. It's great to have them on the ground with us tonight. We've had several briefings, and he's had an opportunity to walk the crime scene. We appreciate our local law enforcement here. Again, we have Mike Smith, who is the county sheriff here. We have all of our local chiefs of police that are here as well, all working hand in hand with the state and with the FBI as we move forward with this investigation. Now, I'll just give you a little warning. We will not be taking any questions at this time. We're giving you the latest information we have, being as transparent with everything that we have. But I do want to share a couple things that I think are important. We cannot do our job without the public's help right now. The public has answered our call for action. So far, we've received more than 7,000 leads and tips. I would just note that the FBI hasn't received this many digital media tips from the public since the Boston Marathon bombing. This case also highlights the dedication of our law enforcement community. We have 20 federal, state, and local law enforcement partners that are working shoulder to shoulder to find the person who committed this horrific crime. With their support, we've completed nearly 200 interviews. As you're aware, as has already been reported, the FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for information leading to the identification and arrest of the person responsible for the murder of Charlie Kirk. We also continue to implore the public to support this investigation and come forward with any information. We are truly hopeful that this video and new photos will lead to even more tips. We are processing. We have an incredible team, a state and federal team working together to process those tips. We are going out in tandem to interview any potential person of interest or suspects. But we need, again, we need as much help as we can possibly get. Any videos or photos that you might have, the public, should be submitted to our digital media tip line, which is www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. Again, that is fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. You can also provide general tips about the shooting by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI, or at tips.fbi.gov. This is, I would just say, this is not just a local matter here in Utah. We have people all over the country that are helping to bring this perpetrator to justice for Charlie Kirk and his family. I will just add as well that, as was mentioned, there is a lot of forensic evidence that is being processed right now at both the state lab and the federal labs, federal lab on the East Coast. So we are working in tandem together. I would also just add a word of note for those people who are spending so much time on social media. I think Charlie said it best, that when things get bad, we should put our phones down and spend a little time with our families. There is a tremendous amount of disinformation. We are tracking our team, the state team, and I'm sure the federal team as well. What we're seeing is our adversaries want violence. China, we have bots from Russia, China, all over the world that are trying to instill disinformation and encourage violence. I would encourage you to ignore those, to turn off those streams, and to spend a little more time with our families. We desperately need some healing. We'll have more to say about that in the days and weeks to come. More than anything, we are going to catch this person. Last thing I will just say is we've been working with our attorneys, getting everything that we need, affidavits ready, so that we can pursue the death penalty in this case, and that will happen here in the state of Utah. Again, to the public, to those who are grieving, thank you for your prayers. I know we are feeling those prayers. I know the Kirk family is feeling those prayers as well. We pray that God will bless our nation at this very dark time. We can start healing by finding this perpetrator and holding him accountable, and we need your help to do that. Thank you.
All right, there is the update. More than 7,000 tips have come in. They are continuing to comb through those tips, and they want the public's help. Again, they have been showing some new video, some new photos as well, and we got that new video of the suspect jumping down from the roof. I want to bring in our guest that had...
Man, did y'all see how he jumped off that roof? And then I don't see how nobody seen him. He jumped off the roof, then he looked at kind of suspect. The next thing you know, when he got close to the road, he just started walking normal and just walked on off.
And give us such great insight. Jeff James, former Secret Service agent. Thanks again. And Jeff, some of the big takeaways that you took from this news conference.
Oh, I took two away. Well, three. My first one is I am a little surprised they don't have an identity yet. I think that's coming quickly, but just a little surprised they haven't identified him yet. But that leads me to the second thing I take away from that. It was when the governor said about how law enforcement counts on the general public's help. That is just not for Charlie Kirk's murder. That is every day. Every time you see an Amber Alert, every time you see a wanted poster pop up, on your feed in social media, every time you see a missing child alert pop up, those are all times that law enforcement is counting on the general public's help. And we couldn't do it without you. I'll say that, I'm in my 30th year in law enforcement now, and the help we've always gotten from the general public is invaluable. And then the third thing I will say is how he said there's over 20 agencies united in this manhunt. Incredible amount of men and women out there, all with the same goal. I don't know if the suspect is listening right now, but if he is, I would tell him his best bet right now, I don't know what his end game is, but his best bet right now might be to walk into a police station and just say, here I am. It's time to take me in, because he's going to get found. Whether he chooses to try to go live in the woods or whether he has a friend, hole him up somewhere, somebody's going to see him and somebody's going to say something, and it's going to end for him.
Yeah, no doubt about that, especially with all these new photos and videos. I mean, look at the one they showed just moments ago of him climbing down the roof there and then jumping down and then ultimately going across the street into that field. But that was some new video that we received just moments ago from the authorities. Yeah,
and this was kind of highlighted when they were talking about the video, the recklessness of all the things he touched on along his way, grabbing the railing and letting himself down. And I know people probably don't think about the footprints they leave, but again, a valuable piece of forensic evidence. They knew they were Converses, and when they eventually catch him, if he's wearing those shoes, wear patterns on shoes are almost as
right. I was just thinking that, Kate. Where's the gun? That's weird. He jumped off the building, but where's the gun? They say they found the gun in the woods, but when he jumped off that building, that backpack ain't gonna fit no rifle.
As damning as a fingerprint, because we all stride in our unique way. So they'll be able to figure that out too. But yeah, some recklessness on his part if he was planning a long-term escape from this. That's certainly not the way to do it.
Yeah, so true. I want to show everyone this new photo that we received just a little bit ago. I'm going to pause it because, yeah, you're so right there, Jeff. Look at, I'm just going to drop the lower for a moment. No gloves on. So who knows just how many fingerprints he left behind?
Easily, right?
Is he the throw off? Is he really the real shooter? Folding rifle.
And then his palm prints and everything else. And look, that stuff can't be faked. It can't be avoided. People ask me all the time. I have a little bit of a background in forensics, and I'll ask people, what's a better determination of identity, DNA or fingerprints? And people will always automatically say DNA. And I will say no, because twins will have the same DNA, but they will have different fingerprints. So that's a true determiner. You can't dodge your fingerprints. You are stuck with them.
Yeah, and we're just getting that new look here of this person that they are looking for. And, as these images continue to really showcase, and, I think it's just a great example, right, Jeff, of just how many cameras there is now where when you go out in public, you are on camera.
Exactly. You almost have to be in the woods or in the mountains to avoid it. And not just cameras that are going to record what people are doing as they pass by, but license plate reading cameras. And there's software now that detects weapons. And there's software that will do facial recognition. That's not every camera, but you aren't going to go into any major city without being recorded. And I say major, I'll even tell you even small cities, whether they're, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, these medium to small size cities, you're still getting recorded everywhere you go. You don't cross a bridge to get into New York or Washington, D.C. without your license plate being captured. Or if you walk across the bridge, you're being captured. It's a great tool for law enforcement. It really is.
Now, I got to go back,
I think
Chad.
the question now that...
I got to go back.
Institution.
The Turning Point USA
asset was
where a sad moment. Manhunt continues, and just a little bit ago, we were getting you go to a commercial, waiting for this event that is. All right, everyone, we continue to bring you the latest here on Live Now from Fox. Again, waiting for these updates.
Now they're like, okay, now it's time to get the help of the general public. I wouldn't be surprised if this press conference was going to be used right now to announce that they had the identity of this person. Maybe not that they had them in custody, but that they have their identity. This is powerful stuff that you're looking at with these stills, and along with the reward they're offering, somebody's going to come forward.
Yeah, that is, we're definitely hoping for that. And once they have a name out there, Jeff, tell us how that really then shapes the investigation and puts, I would feel, maximum pressure on this individual.
Oh, for sure. And look, everything is going to continue in the background. All the forensics investigations are going to continue. All the eyewitness interviews are going to continue, because there's something that happens when people witness trauma, that their memory kind of blanks for about 24 hours and then pieces start to come back to people. That's why a lot of police departments, you'll see that they'll have a policy where if an officer's involved in a shooting, they don't interview them for facts and for 24 hours. They'll wait till the next day. So there may have been people who that police talked to yesterday.
So that we can catch this assassin and hold him accountable. We are going to share a portion of a video and that we have of the suspect, as well as some new stills. Those have already been released, but we want to make sure that they get as much attention as possible so that we can get help from the public in tracking down this evil human being. So we're going to cue up the video right now, show that. I've asked Commissioner Bo Mason if he would narrate to you what is happening in this video.
Thank you, Governor. Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. If you look up to the top left, you'll see the building where the shooter was proned out in the top left corner. We'll go ahead and play that video, and I'll narrate as we walk through that. So here you see the suspect ran behind that upper building. He's going to come out on the right, moves to this far right corner. As he does, he's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes. Again, we'll replay that again so you can get another view of that. It's important to note his black T-shirt, his black pants, and there appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for. In the stills that are going to follow this, you're going to see a very distinctive T-shirt with an American flag and appears to have an eagle on it. There's also a baseball cap with a triangle on it and a pair of sunglasses. All distinctive, all things that we would ask the public to look for and try to identify if they know someone who has those items, who has been seen wearing those items. We're looking for all that information. Here you see the suspect after dropping off the building. He moved around across this grassy area, around the parking lot. We're going to pan to the right. After he crosses the street, this is where he moves over into the wooded area. This is the video evidence that we utilize to track his movements and to locate that firearm in that wooded area following the discovery of this evidence. Good. You want to go to the stills? So here's the still photographs I mentioned. These have been enhanced. So these are slightly different than what we introduced earlier. Please pay close attention to the T-shirt. Like I said, very distinctive with that American flag and that eagle. The hat with the triangle and the sunglasses. If you'll go to the next picture, please. The backpack as well. All identifying features that we're hoping the public can help us identify and lead us to this suspect. Next picture. And again, there's a better picture of the hat with that triangle logo, and again, the T-shirt.
Wait, it looks like a gun in his pocket.
Get a good look at those Converse tennis shoes as well.
Look like something's in his pocket.
We have pushed these out. We'll continue to push these out, and we just ask for the public's cooperation through the public. The tips that have been coming in are what are giving us our next leads and enabling us to continue to further this investigation. We've had great cooperation from the public, and we're continuing to ask for that as we move forward. Thank you, and I'll turn the time back over to Governor Cox.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Mason. I want to thank Director Patel and his team. It's great to have them on the ground with us tonight. We've had several briefings, and he's had an opportunity to walk the crime scene. We appreciate our local law enforcement here. Again, we have Mike Smith, who is the county sheriff here. We have all of our local chiefs of police that are here as well, all working hand in hand with the state and with the FBI as we move forward with this investigation. Now, I'll just give you a little warning. We will not be taking any questions at this time. We're giving you the latest information we have, being as transparent with everything that we have. But I do want to share a couple things that I think are important. We cannot do our job without the public's help right now. The public has answered our...
See, that just lets you know the lack of security on that school campus. That was a college campus at that. That just lets you know he got away like that. Obviously, he was making some messed up moves. Somebody's supposed to notice how he was acting. That's wild.
Sorry. Americans united under Christ. Let this event remind us all of our humanity. We have many... Keeps cutting out. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay. We have many people here standing before you from diverse walks of life with different perspectives on faith and politics. But we all come to you in solidarity to honor Charlie Kirk and all the other victims of political violence. I would also like to mention Melissa Hortman and her husband who were killed in a political attack in Minnesota. Violence can happen on both sides of the aisle, and it is up to us, the future, to change it. I also understand that a brutal attack occurred in Evergreen High School the same day as the tragic event that took Charlie Kirk's life. My thoughts and prayers are with the victims and families of that horrible attack. People want to see change. From my experience as an individual, change comes with love. Of all my core values, loving one another is at the very front. I would like to read to you a Bible verse, 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verses 13 through 14. Be alert, stand firm in the faith, be courageous, be strong, and do everything in love. This verse summarizes what we all should be more of, loving one another. Our generation has the potential to be a force for good, but it's up to us to make that happen. I would also like to share with all of you a couple personal statements I received from my mentors. First is my Congressman Ronnie Jackson, who was an alumni at Texas A&M. Charlie Kirk was a remarkable man who was admired by defenders of free speech, not only in our country, but around the world. He was a devoted father, husband, and follower of Christ. He accomplished what many thought impossible. He changed the hearts and minds of young people, especially college students in our country. He did so with such passion and clarity that he inspired a generation to stand up, get involved in politics, and proudly work to lift this country higher. Now it is up to us to carry forward his mission. Don't let cynicism and political violence define your generation. Let this moment be a turning point towards something better for the future of our country. God bless you all, and God bless Charlie. I would also like to call Madison Evans to the stand to read with me a personal note from Greg Sindelar, the CEO of the Texas Public Policy Foundation. We both regard him as a mentor and a dear friend.
We gather in prayer to honor the dead, and we honor the dead because we love the living. Charlie Kirk died in the role he embraced with joy and devotion, strengthening his country, persuading his neighbor, and increasingly living a faith in God who he sees now. There are many objectives we could apply to a man who lives that life, but I'll just use one: American. As Aggies, we know what being an American means. We hear the names at muster, and we know that our dead lie on every American battlefield. Their heroism and sacrifice, to borrow from Thucydicus, woven into the stuff of other men's lives. Those names are not just memory. They are instruction. Some of us are called upon to sacrifice as they did. All of us are called upon to deserve those sacrifices.
Charlie Kirk was not an Aggie, but he had an Aggie spirit. Cheerful, relentless, determined, and patriotic. His love for his country and his beloved family blurred into a singular whole. He was a man of good heart, he was a man of good works, and he was a man of good faith. At the moment he was taken from us, I believe that goodness was enough. God bless Charlie, God bless his wife and children, and God bless the country for which he fought and fell. I now call Emma Eastlick to the stage.
Howdy, Ags. My name is Emma Claire Eastlick. I'm a sophomore political science major here at Texas A&M, and I'm also the social chair of Political Science Aggies. I stand here today to talk about unity in times of distress. 5 months ago, I was here debating Charlie Kirk himself, and now I'm here speaking at a vigil for him. I was truly blessed to have the opportunity to debate such a man. I bring this up to highlight that this is something that should affect everyone, not just one political party. Whether you support Charlie Kirk or not, at the end of the day, he leaves behind a family and friends that we send our prayers to. Political violence is not something that ever should be tolerated. In order to speak out against it, no form should ever be supported. Along with Charlie Kirk, I have a few more names I would like to highlight. They are Democratic Minnesota State Speaker of the House, Melissa Hortman, and State Senator John Hoffman, who were both shot and killed earlier this year. I also think that we should bring attention to the shooting at Evergreen High School that wounded 2 students and also the victims of 9/11. All of these instances weigh heavy on our hearts tonight. I ask that you pray not just for Charlie Kirk and his family, but all victims of political violence. As George Washington once said in his farewell address, the common and continual mischiefs of the spirit of party are sufficient to make it the interest and duty of a wise people to discourage and restrain it. My advice to all of you today is to really think about this quote. Think about where political parties have brought us to. Even on a lower level, take this into account. Don't let political opinions ruin your relationships with those around you. The differences between humans are what makes life beautiful. Times like these either pull us together or push us apart. The choices are to make. Please put your political opinions aside and pray for everyone affected. Thank you.
Howdy. My name is Maggie Martini. I'm the president of Texas A&M College Republicans and executive director of the Texas Federation of College Republicans. It shows something special that we are all here today and that we all chose to show up. We all recognize the tragedy that occurred yesterday. We all know that this has gone too far. No one should have to fear political expression. The violence that occurred is deeply heartbreaking. Charlie Kirk shouldn't be dead. Those kids at Evergreen High School should never have been hurt. I'm grateful that we are together as Americans, as students, as people, to mourn these occurrences as they are, devastations, tragedies, and a tragic loss of life. Regardless of political affiliation, we all have something to mourn today. We can mourn for our country on the 24th anniversary of the largest terrorist attack in our nation's history. We can mourn for the students in Colorado, and we can mourn for the loss of a political figure who's also a husband and a father to 2 young children. Thank you for meeting us here on our bridge over the partisan divide of our own political affiliations. May we continue to see the humanity in everyone, and may we all continue to pray together for our nation, for our leaders, for our communities, and for ourselves. In an intense time of anxiety, anguish, and agony, may God bless us all, and God bless our nation. Thank you.
Howdy, my name is Audrey Delgado, and I am the president of Young Americans for Freedom. Charlie Kirk sparked a flame in our nation's youth that will never go out. He was a role model to countless people, to young men, to fathers, to husbands, and to friends. He said he wanted to be remembered for his courage and for his faith, and he absolutely succeeded. He showed people, including myself, that standing up for your beliefs is integral in today's society. To keep the conversation going keeps our nation thriving. Above all, Charlie will be remembered for his faith. His steadfast love of Christ fueled his drive to become the most influential speaker on campuses like ours. Charlie leaves behind his beloved wife, Erica, and 2 beautiful children who will carry on his legacy along with millions of his followers. This tragedy is one that will stand the test of time for our generation, just as the terror attacks did for the previous generation just 24 years ago. We honor these victims tonight, as well as Charlie, to ensure they will never be forgotten. I know Charlie would be proud of every one of you here tonight, in unity with your neighbor, in hope for a better day, and out of shared love of the Lord. I will continue to pray for his wife and children, and every friend and supporter of Charlie who is mourning. Charlie believed in us. We should continue to honor him by speaking with courage. Let us pray. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly hosts, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all the evil spirits who prowl about the world, seeking the ruins of souls. Amen. Thank you, and God bless.
Howdy, Ags, and good evening. My name is Audrey Lee, and I am the Young Americans for Liberty Texas A&M State Chair, as well as the chapter president for our amazing school. I know it's been said before, but I first want to thank the incredible group of people I was able to work with to pull this event off. This was a tremendous joint effort in support of Turning Point, and none of us could have made it through without the others. This evening, I want to speak about what Charlie Kirk meant to so many of us Aggies. Charlie perfectly embodied the Aggie core values of respect, excellence, leadership, loyalty, integrity, and selfless service. And while he wasn't an Aggie in name, he certainly carried within him the Aggie spirit. He devoted his life to giving young people a voice through respectful discussion, and I believe he would be proud to see us here tonight, not as separate organizations, but standing together as one community, united in remembrance. This is undeniably a time of strong emotions. Many of us feel deep sadness, frustration, or confusion. And that's okay. But it is not the time to give in to anger or fear. This is the time to stand up and carry on Charlie's legacy of empowering young Americans to make change through respectful discussion. This is what separates us as Aggies, and even more so as Americans. Our ability to set aside our differences and come together shows the tremendous impact Charlie had on us all, and goes to show the incredible strength of the unity of the American people through tragedy. And so we ask, O Lord, to give rest to the soul of your departed servant, Charlie Kirk, in a place of brightness, a place of green pastures, a place of repose where all sickness, sorrow, and sighing have fled away. Pardon every sin which he has committed, whether by word or deed or thought. For you, O Lord, are a good God who loves all mankind. Amen.
Howdy. My name is Kaden Gabriel, and I serve as the Public Relations Director for Pro-Life Aggies and am a student spokesperson for Students for Life of America. Conflict arises when conversations stop. Charlie Kirk gave his life for this message of peace, for showing that the product of disagreement should be discussion and not violence. And it is a message our society desperately needs to hear. After all, it doesn't take more than a few moments scrolling through the comments section on one of Kirk's social media posts to see the hate he received every day for simply having conversations. But it didn't stop him. Charlie knew the purpose the Lord had for him and knew that if following God's will led to being hated by the same world that crucified its Savior, he was doing something right. He was a light in the darkness and a symbol of peace in the midst of chaos. And now on this historic day of 9/11, where we remember so many lives lost to the evil of this world, we also remember Charlie Kirk. We remember a father, a husband, son, brother, uncle, and friend. We remember a man who fought daily for peace and civility in the face of disagreement. So let us not allow fear and anger to fester within us. Instead, let us remember who the true enemy is, and that the only way to defeat him is through Jesus Christ. Let us continue what Charlie Kirk started and respond with love and truth when it is not shown to us, and start conversations so that we may end conflict. Thank you.
All right, everyone, you are watching live now from Fox. That was